Hey everybody, it's Dan with Pain For You. You know, from time to time people will hear me mention that I was stuck in pain for over a decade, actually 13 years. It's kind of what I've figured out based on looking back over the timeline. Everybody's going, but Dan, I don't have 13 years. You're telling me it's going to take me that long to get better? I mean, how come it took you that long? And so I wanted to address it because I will just tell you right out, flat out of the gate, it won't take you that long. It didn't have to take me that long, but it did. Primarily because when I was dealing with this, it was, 23, 24 years ago, before Facebook, YouTube, podcasts, all those amazing resources that are out there. And, I pretty much had Sarno's books, and I had, the TMShelp.com forum, which was like the old style bulletin board. And there weren't a lot of resources out there. And I really just had to go with Sarno's 12 daily reminders. Think psychologically, talk to your brain, reject the physical, start resuming physical activity. And I tried that stuff. And when I first read the book, I got better pretty quickly. And that was great. But then the pain came back. And then it went away again, then it came back harder. And then I became more and more fearful of the next recurrence of the pain. I'm sure many of you guys can relate to that. You beat it, you say, oh yeah, I got this TMS thing down, and then it comes back and you're like, wow, what happened? What happened? I'm reading the Sarno again, I'm trying to do the same things that worked the first time, and it didn't work. And what I didn't realize at the time was the harder I tried, the more focused I became on the pain, and the more it became kind of who I was. I was the guy with the bad back in my 30s. I shouldn't have been in pain, but I was. And so it was particularly challenging. So when people say, how come it took you so long to heal or to get well or to reverse the TMS, I think it's because I made every mistake in the book. I screwed up. I was so hyper-focused on it, became my identity. I thought I was broken. I used language that wasn't helpful. I got a bad back. Tell my kid, don't jump on me, Dad's got a bad back. No, I can't do that with you. I got a bad back. And I spent more and more time laying on the floor, less and less time doing things. And don't get me wrong, I was still reasonably functional, but hurting all the while doing it. I was still able to get out and play golf a lot, but it hurt like crazy, and I would suffer for the rest of the day. And I just kind of thought that that's how it was. Now, I never lost hope in the Sarno theory. I never questioned whether or not TMS is a thing or that it could work for me, which was kind of ridiculous because, towards the end there, I was going on 12 years of knowing about Sarno and still not better, still having pain. And towards the end, it got worse and worse. And then my back or spine got all crooked from all the muscle compensations or muscle imbalances from compensating for the pain for so long. And so, why did it take so long? I made every mistake in the book. I did the opposite of what I'm sharing with you guys and gals. I was hyper-focused on it. I lost my confidence that I could get better with this. It really took a toll on me. I'm like, so frustrated, so pissed off that I'm doing the same shit that worked initially, but now this Sarno stuff isn't working for me. I remember being stuck on the floor for 14 hours, reading a Sarno book, trying to talk to my brain, think psychologically, and it wasn't working. I just had to ride out that was probably one of my worst days. But I made every mistake in the book. I talk about the mindset of indifference. I was anything but that. I was so pissed off at my life. I was so pissed off that I had pain. I was so upset. I was focused on it all the time. I was constantly measuring it, monitoring it. I'd wake up in the morning and go, oh, how bad is today going to be? What's my pain like right now? It's okay, but when I would go to walk to the bathroom, it would start up and it would stay all day. So I would focus on it. I would fear it. I'd be angry about it. I was anything but indifferent to the pains. And, yes, I did all the emotional discovery stuff, the feeling your emotions. I went through everything from my childhood, everything I could think of, everything from my present life. I journaled so much that I wrote myself into a depression. And then I was depressed on top of the pain. And so that didn't work for me. I didn't take enough conscious effort to reassure myself that I was okay and soothe myself both physically. I convinced myself that I wasn't good at meditation because I would try to still my mind and it wouldn't work. My mind would be going and going and going, and I just didn't get better. And so that didn't work. Meditation, didn't think I was doing it right, and so I didn't do a lot of that. So soothing, probably didn't do much of that. So I guess from a video a couple of days ago about certainty, I was certain it was TMS. But I wasn't certain I could beat it again and again and again, because it kept coming back and coming back worse, and then became chronic. And so I lost the confidence in my ability. So that's why I was stressing so much in the certainty video that it's important to know that you can do this. And look, if I could get it done after 13 years of pain, 12 of which I knew about Sarno, you guys can do it no matter how long you've been. We've got success stories coming up, people with 42 years worth of migraines, 3 times a week down to like 1 a month. They're doing fantastic. Other people with such crazy symptoms. One lady messaged and told me she was in a wheelchair last December, and now she's out walking half a mile. And so people are getting better. This stuff works. And so why won't it take you 13 years? Because you've got all these resources available, not just me, but like YouTube is full of these things. Facebook, Nicole's group. Alan Gordon's got the new group, Tell Me About Your Pain. There's the Mind Body Masters. There's the TMS Mind Body Prescription group. There's a Tension Myositis group. There's so many groups on Facebook alone that are all focused on TMS. Now, I don't particularly like all of the other TMS groups because they tend to get very symptom-based, and it's kind of a free-for-all. People can post what they want. And before you know it, you got a whole bunch of people complaining about their symptoms, which does what? Kind of triggers everybody and shifts everybody's focus back to symptoms, symptoms, symptoms. Whereas on my group, I'm sorry, I wish I could open it up for everybody to post, but I think it's better to keep it strictly solution-based, success story-based. And I'm very blessed that the comments that I get from you guys and gals are very much in that vein. People are kind of responding and saying, yeah, that video made sense to me, or this is what I've experienced and that worked for me. And I love it. You guys and gals are amazing, and I love you for that. But here's the point. It doesn't matter how long you've been trying. You could be a day or a week or 2 weeks away from it kind of all clicking for you and getting better. And so when it clicks, it happens fast. And people will say, well, how long is it going to take me? Well, it depends on how long it takes for you to stop being so darn afraid of this thing created in the mind when your body's actually fine. How long will it take for you to get to the point where you're living your life is more important than your pain, right? How long is it going to take you for those things to happen? To get the mindset of indifference and not just say, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, but actually believe it, right? These things are important. I don't know if you noticed, I'm here in front of the river. This is the Delaware River, and I'm underneath the bridge from 202 going from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. So sorry about the road noise above, but had to run out to the bank and figured I would shoot a video in front of the river. I should have picked a quieter place, not under the bridge. But so, I mean, that's really why it took me so long. I made every mistake in the book. That's why I'm so compelled to share what I've learned with you guys and gals. So it doesn't have to take you 13 years. Heck, it doesn't have to take you 13 weeks. It might only take you 13 days. It depends on how quickly you embrace the knowledge, accept it, that this is truly what's going on with you. Accept the fact that if you follow a proven system, this stuff works, you too can get better. And for everybody who's going, yeah, but the mindset of indifference, it's impossible for me. It's not. It's a decision. And each day you can get closer and closer and closer to that. And I will tell you, how quickly can you learn to stop freaking out every time you hurt and hurt bad? Because the more you freak out, the more you're turning on the danger signals, the more the brain's going to keep the symptoms going. So these things are really important, folks. It won't take you 13 years to get better, certainly not from this point. And if it does, you're watching videos, but you're not taking action. You're not making the shifts mentally intellectually, because this is not just a hope and a prayer, this is accurate information. And when you apply these things that are proven to work, not just within my group, but within the TMS community, you're going to get better. That's just the way it works. But we can't have the fear and the focus on the pain be the most important thing in your life. Because as long as it is, those neural pathways are going to stay connected. So if you want to let them go, you got to put down the pain and say, this is no longer important. No matter how bad you're hurting, this is no longer important. So I hope you found this helpful. I know a lot of people have asked me that question, and if that many people have reached out to me and says, hey Dan, how come it took you so long? Did you really say it took over a decade? And a lot of people's response is, oh no, if this guy took that long, how long is it going to take me to get it? And again, the reason I'm putting this video together is because if 10 people have asked me that question over the past year, there's probably 100 people who had the same question in their mind but never sought to reach out to me. So I hope you found it helpful. There is hope. This is the answer. This stuff works. I know it works. I've had so much feedback over the past year and a half since I started doing these daily videos. This stuff works, folks. You can do this. I'm here for you. I'm going to keep on showing up every day. And let me know how you're doing. Was this helpful? I'm sure many of you were curious. And if you were curious, comment. Let me know if you were. So with that, I'm going to wrap this one up. And we'll talk to you guys and gals tomorrow. See ya.